my name is Bryn. Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be telling you guys what I wish I knew in high school, or advice I wish I got in high school. I know it's really hard to believe, but I just graduated high school this past year. Congratulations to the class of 2021. We did it. I wrote down a bunch of things that I wish I knew, or advice that I wish that I got in high school. Basically, I never really had an older sister or an older sibling kind of tell me like what goes on in high school. I have an older brother, but he's like 30. His experience isn't the same as the experiences now. Basically, I want to be your big sister. That's my goal here. I'm kind of losing daylight. It's like 7:30 at night right now. So without further ado, let's get started. For some reason, my car just felt appropriate for this video. I don't really know why. I have my list pulled up right here, if you guys can see that. I kind of separated it into 3 categories. I have relationships, girl drama, and just general advice. Let's start with relationships because it's an interesting topic. Relationships are not the most important thing. I hate to say it, but it's not. I have had boyfriends, I've had girlfriends, I have been single. I was single most of my high school experience, and honestly, I can't imagine it any other way. I have grown so much by being by myself. I learned how to be responsible. I learned how to be more independent. I learned that I need to be happy with myself before I can even share my happiness with someone else. It is so important to love yourself before you love someone else. I thought that it was possible to not, but it is not. It's not possible. I mean, granted, it did work for a little bit, but 10 times harder to maintain a relationship while I was just completely unhappy with my life. And it's so important to set boundaries. Let me repeat that. It's so important to set boundaries. I can't stress enough how important it is. Don't do anything you don't want to do. That's the #1 thing. And keeping boundaries is just one of the key components to a healthy relationship or friendship, anything, any type of relationship. And I have learned dating someone, it's just not as important. Like, I would much rather have a good set of friends than a good boyfriend or girlfriend. I really would. I'm not gonna say not everyone because that's not true, but most people do not marry their high school significant other. Like high school sweethearts, no, I don't wanna say rare, but it's really impressive to be high school sweethearts. Props to you guys if you're high school sweethearts and you're watching this video. Round of applause. I have so much more to learn about yourself. My experiences with significant others is don't rely on them for your main source of happiness. If you lose them, you'll lose yourself. I'm telling you that right now. You can't rely on your significant other for your main source of happiness. Your main source of happiness, based on personal experience. Friends will last a lifetime, and relationships will not. I know it may not seem like it, and it's okay to be a little boy or girl crazy, but what's not okay is forgetting about your friends while you're in a relationship. That is not okay. At this point, I'm just repeating myself, but relationships are not the most important thing. Moving on to my next little category, we have girl drama. I have some tea on this one. I went through a lot of girl drama in high school. It was so stupid. My sophomore year, entire year was drama. And it was so dumb. We maybe started out with a friend group of like a solid like 7 to like 8, 9, 10 at most people. And by the end of sophomore year, we were split and half of them left. It's hard to avoid, it's bound to happen, but you gotta just not talk about people. It's so easy to gossip and be mean and talk about someone. It's so easy. You can't do it. It'll ruin your friend group. Been there, done that. And me and my biggest enemy, we're best friends now. You know, we were really going at it with each other sophomore year because we were immature and petty. It was just so dumb what we were fighting over, and it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. Sometimes you just need to take a break from each other, which is what we did. Real friends will find their way back at some point, and we did. And now we're best friends again. It's bound to happen. You guys are going to fight. It's impossible to avoid sometimes. It's not worth fighting over. Your real friends will come back. I promise. To go along with that, you most likely will not leave high school with the same friends that you started with. For me, I actually did leave high school with a lot of the same friends that I started with, but I also ended high school with a lot of new ones as well, and I lost a few that I started with. The same friends that I started and ended with, we went through absolute hell and back before we made it to the end, but we made it. You know why? Because real friends will make their way back around. And if they don't, then they're not a real friend, and it's not worth overthinking and being upset over. Friends will come and go. Some friends are meant to stay for shorter chapters. Some friends are meant to stay for the whole book. You just gotta keep going. I promise you will find your group of friends. And if you don't in high school, you definitely will in college. You're gonna meet so many people that are gonna be the same major as you, the same minor as you, the same club, the same sport. You are going to make friends. I promise. Things get better. It gets better. I wanted to go a little more in depth with the Mean Girls. Mean Girls freaking suck. They really do. Sophomore year was really hard for me. Even freshman year, I had a few issues freshman year too with a girl, but then she ended up moving schools and we're kind of chill now. Sophomore year was my worst year of high school by far, and I can talk about it because me and her are friends now. I stopped dance that year. I had a terrible time with friends, was getting made fun of in dance class at school all the time. Mean Girls suck. They really do. You're not a good dancer. You're not thin enough to be a dancer. You don't get enough likes on Instagram. You don't have enough friends. You don't play sports. People will make fun of you for the dumbest things. Like, I got made fun of one time freshman year for making YouTube videos. Like, I was doing something that I loved and people were like, your videos sucked. Okay, I'm literally 15 years old. I'm learning. Hello? It's not gonna be perfect. I'm a 15-year-old girl. Bottom line is, Mean Girls are mean to you probably because they are going through a hard time themselves. They're insecure about themselves. I'm telling you, there was one girl specifically that was mean to me in my sophomore year dance class. She would make fun of me while I was stretching, laugh when I would dance across the floor. I wanted to quit so bad. I realized that she was making fun of me because I could do some things that she couldn't do, and she ended up leaving our school. I think she was really going through a hard time. I think that's why she was giving me a hard time. Moral of the story is that Mean Girls, don't listen to them. They're not right. I kept making videos because I like them. They're still not perfect, but I'm getting better and I'm learning. My attitude towards my channel has completely changed after I stopped caring about judgment from other people. I didn't even stop caring until very, very recently. Not even kidding. Have doubled the amount of subscribers I've had in just like 3 videos. I'm gonna get into that more into my general section. You gotta power through. Kill them with kindness. So in my general advice section, it's really just a bunch of random stuff. Probably cliche, probably stuff you've heard before, but hear me out, okay? First thing I wrote down is that grades are important, but they're not the most important thing. And here's why. You are not a number on a piece of paper, just like you're not a number on the scale. Society, it's come to like this point where we're supposed to base things off of numbers, and that's not okay. Grades are important. How much you weigh is important. How much food you eat is important. None of that is important. Yes, your grades are important, but you are so much more than a 50 on a test. You are so much more than getting a D on that paper. Just because you got a 67 on a quiz that you studied so hard for does not mean you're a failure. Let me tell you, I failed my sophomore year chemistry class. So I needed a 64 or 65 to pass, and I ended with a 58. I felt like such a failure. I stayed after school every single day that I could to get help, and it just wasn't working. Both my parents were on my ass about it. But you know what? I am more than just a grade. Parents need to be easier on us. I'm just saying, grades are important. We know that, but it's not the most important thing. Our mental health is more important than a grade on a test, or a grade in a class, or a letter on a paper. End of story. Just like how numbers on the scale don't matter. How many likes you get on an Instagram post. Irrelevant. You are not a bad student because you failed a test, or multiple tests. I'm moving on because I feel like I'm too passionate about this topic. The next next thing I wrote down, you are going to change. You will not look the same or act the same as your freshman self. You are going to find yourself, you're gonna learn so much about yourself, and you're gonna grow. You're really gonna grow. I went through this time period where I wanted to look the same as I did when I was like 12. My 16-year-old self wanted to look like my 12-year-old self. I can't even wrap my head around it. I'm growing. I'm getting older. I'm getting more mature. I'm getting more active. I'm not gonna be a twig like I was at 12 years old. I have grown so much since I was a freshman. Like I said earlier, I became much more independent. So much more independent. And I think only having one real parent really helped with that. I really have found myself. I found what I'm passionate about, which is advocating for mental health, ASL, dance. I'm so passionate about that stuff. I came out in the last like 2 years. You just learn so much about yourself in high school and college too. I'm not even done growing yet. I still have my whole life to grow. Just because I'm done high school doesn't mean I'm done growing. I'm gonna learn so much more about myself when I go to college. But I'm just telling you right now, you go into freshman year as a little baby. You're gonna grow so much, and you're gonna look back when you're a senior and see how much you've grown. You should be really proud of yourself, no matter how much you grow. Every step is progress. The next one's really simple, really cliche, cheesy, whatever you want to call it, but it's find a teacher that you click with. This makes me emotional because I had a lot of great teachers in high school. There were 4 teachers, and I'm very, very lucky to say that I have 4 teachers to fall back on. These 4 individuals, I can't tell you where I would be without them. I would not be who I am without them. There were many days where I didn't have anyone to sit with at lunch. My 10th and 11th grade English teacher, I sat with her probably 3 out of the 5 days. I just sat in her classroom and had my lunch. My dance teacher, there were so many days where I stayed after school to practice. We would just have these really deep talks. I know none of them are going anywhere. I have 3 out of the 4 of their numbers that I can literally just call them anytime, but long story short, find a teacher that you click with because it makes your high school experience so much more memorable and more enjoyable. This leads me to the next and final piece of advice from me to you. Don't let others' opinions stop you from doing what you love and are passionate about. I let the fear of judgment from my classmates stop me from posting videos. I wish I didn't. I posted during the summers when I wasn't seeing anyone. I didn't really post during the school year. I was scared people were gonna find my channel. I was scared people were gonna watch my videos and send them to all their friends and make fun of me. Not anymore, because I have real friends support me with this and want to be in my videos and watch my videos, but I'm serious. No matter what anyone says, their opinion doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No one's opinion or judgment should stop you from doing what you're passionate about. I didn't let that one girl stop me from dancing, and look where I am now. I made it to my high school's very first dance team, and I got to be on that for 2 years. I was on the very first one. All because I stopped caring about that one girl. Sure, may not be the best dancer on earth, but I love doing it. And that's all that matters. If you're passionate about something, you will get better. You will be good at what you do. But I think I'm gonna make a podcast episode about other advice. So if you guys want like a part 2 to this video, link my podcast episode down below. And I'm losing daylight, so this light's gonna have to do. It's just the flashlight on my phone. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and comment down below what grade you're going into and maybe a question that you have. I'm gonna try and respond to all the comments that I can. Don't forget to click that big red subscribe button and click the bell next to it to be notified every time I post a new video. Lately, I've been posting 2 times a week, and if you're watching the day that I'm posting this video, I posted 3 times this week, which is really crazy. I'm really busting out videos for you guys. I'm trying to hit 1K maybe before I go to college, which would be really crazy. Don't let anyone stop you guys. You guys are beautiful and loved and so valued. I love you. I hope you had a great day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!